everyone, it is Samantha and I hope you guys are having a lovely day. I am here today for a Q&A video. I took to Twitter to ask you guys to ask me some Christmassy themed questions so I could do a Christmas Q&A because I think everybody at this point knows how much I love Christmas. So without further ado, let's get started on these questions. The first question comes from Elliot and he's asked me what the best Christmas gift is that I have ever given. That's a hard one. I actually really enjoy trying to find Christmas gifts for my friends and family, and I love it when I find that perfect gift. So let me think. One thing that does come to mind, my mom and I really love Thomas Kincaid and we love his little cottages, and one year I was able to find, they had since been discontinued, but I was able to find these little Thomas Kincaid Christmas cottages that light up, and I was so excited when I found those. That was probably one of the things that I was most excited for anybody to unwrap for me on Christmas Day. Like, I could not wait to see how she would like them, so I knew she'd love them. So that was definitely something that was up there. And then, I don't know, I always try to find something that I'm excited for somebody to open every Christmas. Just when you find that item that you just know fits that person perfectly, it just makes you feel so excited. And I love watching people's reactions when they open them on Christmas morning. Bree asked if I could spend Christmas anywhere in the world other than home, where would I want to go? I would love to go anywhere in Europe, especially Germany and the German Christmas markets. I am actually half German, so I think that would just be really cool to go and see that in person. And I don't know, I just love whenever I see Christmas in Europe, whenever I watch travel shows I have to do with Christmas in Europe, or see pictures or see my friends post who are there, I just look so cool. So I would definitely love to go anywhere in Europe during Christmas time, but in particular Germany. I love to go to a German Christmas market. I think that would just be a dream come true. She also asked me what my favorite gift is that I ever received as a kid. I have two. The first one would probably be my train set. When I was about 7 years old that Christmas, I got a train set for Christmas. I was obsessed with trains. I actually wanted to be a train conductor for the first few years of my life because I thought that would be just an awesome career choice, and I got a Santa Fe train set and that was super exciting. And then when I was about 11, 12 years old, I got a skateboard and I thought that was pretty damn cool. I got really excited about that skateboard. I was terrible at it. I couldn't do much on it, but damn, I love that thing a lot. Tamara asked if I have a favorite Christmas decoration or ornament in general. I have so many, guys. I actually have a video coming up of all of my favorite Christmas decorations, so that will be coming soon. So I'll try and choose an ornament for this one. Okay, so I tried to choose ornaments for my little tree in my room, and I have two. The first one is this one right here, which is this really cool Christmas mocha cup that my mom made. And it's basically this little like hot chocolate cup, and it's super glittery. She made this and she added all the glitter and the paint and stuff, and it's just really cool, and I don't know why it makes me happy, but it does. And the second one is one that my mom painted when I was a kid, and it's this one right here. They used to sell these ceramic ornaments and stuff that you could paint. My mom did a whole bunch of these because she's super amazing at them, but this is one of my favorites. It's this little kitty in an ice skate, and it says Jasmine on the bottom. Jasmine was the name of the cat that we got when I was in kindergarten, and this would have been about when Jasmine was 2 years old, I think, actually, when she painted this. And she gave it to me for Christmas, and I love this one. Jasmine has since passed away, but she was a good little cat, but she had a very long life. She lived until I was 22 years old, so it's a pretty good life for a cat, but I still miss her. So this one has a very special place in my heart. Becca asked how long I believed in Santa Claus. Are you saying that Santa isn't real? I think a part of me will always believe in my heart that Santa exists, but I think I knew by about 8 that he wasn't a thing, but I really wanted to hold out and believe, so I don't think I admitted that I no longer believed in Santa Claus until I was about 11 years old. I held out for a long time. I was not ready to let go of that part of my childhood. Ashley B's asked what my favorite childhood Christmas books and movies are. In terms of books, The Night Before Christmas, my mom has this really cool old edition of it that I used to love. Same thing with Frosty the Snowman. And The Christmas Carol, of course, as well, because we used to read that every Christmas Eve. And as for movies, I love the Rankin and Bass Christmas specials, and I still do. The Year Without Santa Claus is hands down my favorite of the Rankin and Bass Christmas specials, but I also love Nestor the Long-Eared Donkey and The First Christmas Snow, both of which you don't see very often. And then of course the classics, so Santa Claus is Coming to Town and Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. And I also really love Prancer and the Santa Claus movies. The first Santa Claus movie with Tim Allen came out when I think I was 7. So I was like right at the age where that movie was amazing. I absolutely loved it. And of course, A Christmas Story. I love that one growing up, still do. So those are some of my favorites from my childhood. Tina asked what my earliest Christmas memory is, or my favorite Christmas memory is. I have a lot. My parents really made Christmas special, and they always made it really lovely. I think one of my earliest Christmas, I must have been like 2 or 3, and it was, we were opening our Christmas gifts, and I was like kind of getting what this was all about, that this was an exciting thing. And I just remember being fascinated by the whole process and just being really excited because, you know, you're getting toys and presents and stuffed animals and things, and candy. Candy was always a big thing. And as for my favorite Christmas memory, honestly, I think it's just any of our Christmas Eves growing up. They were always just cozy. It was my parents, my sisters, and I, and they were just really lovely and calm and nice, and we would have our dinner and read a Christmas carol and go to bed. And I remember just being so excited I couldn't sleep, and then waking up at like 2 in the morning and seeing that Santa came. Just all of those. Whenever I think back to my childhood, those are some of my favorite memories. Hunter Beasley asked if we plan out how we decorate our tree, or is it just random? It's just random. We always jokingly called it a junk tree because it's basically every ornament we have gotten over the years, our parents have, etc. So it's just pretty random. We just kind of take out all the ornaments and put them on the tree. Amy asked, what was the thing that I most wanted as a child? There was this, I don't know if anybody remembers it, I cannot remember what it was called, but it was this robot, and you could put cassette tapes into it, and it would like play games with you and read books and things, and I cannot remember what it was called, but that was something that I always wanted for whatever reason, and then they stopped making it, I think. And then of course the Gigapet. The Gigapet phase was like, that was, everybody wanted a Gigapet. I wanted a Gigapet, and I remember that Christmas I got the little dog Gigapet, and I was super excited about that. It was like off the Tamagotchi Gigapet thing. I don't know if anybody remembers that from the 90s, but those things were awesome, and I was so excited when I got the little dog Gigapet. Those things were amazing. Kat asked if I could only do one hobby during Christmas time, what would it be? That's hard. I don't know if I would choose. I like to read during Christmas, but I probably don't read as much during December as I do during other months, so I might go with coloring. If I only had one, I would definitely choose coloring or video games. Caitlin asked what my favorite or least favorite Christmas songs and movies are. I actually have a least favorite Christmas songs video coming out, or it might be already posted at this point, I'm not sure. So look out for that, or I'll post it below if it's already posted because I'm pre-filming. Spoilers. So I'll do movies. Least favorite movie is probably National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. I really do not like Chevy Chase. I've never liked him. I don't find him funny. I find him extremely annoying. I've never been able to get into him. So I hate that movie with a passion, with an unrivaled passion. I also do not like Bad Santa because I do not like Billy Bob Thornton whatsoever. And I also cannot stand Jingle All the Way because I also don't like Arnold Schwarzenegger. So most of my reason behind not liking those movies is because I do not like the main characters. Although I haven't watched Jingle All the Way since it first came out, so my opinion might change, but even as a kid I didn't like that movie. But those are probably the three that I dislike the most. T. Hill and asked if there's a difference between Father Christmas and Santa. As far as I'm aware, there is not. I think it just depends upon where you come from geographically. I believe in the UK they still call him Father Christmas, but you guys could totally correct me if I'm wrong. But every single country has a different version of Santa Claus. The stories are a little bit different, the traditions behind them are a little bit different, but I think they're all linked back to the same person, which would be Saint Nicholas, which is one of the saints from Turkey, I believe, who was known for giving gifts. There's a story that had to do with him giving a dowry to these 3 girls. And all of the Santa Claus myths, for the most part, are based upon Saint Nicholas. So in theory, they're all the same guy, but every country has a different version of Santa Claus, basically, by a different name, and also other cultural traditions are blended into there, so other stories and traditions from various countries and cultures have been incorporated into their own version of Santa Claus. My mom had gotten a book on the history of Christmas and Santa Claus. That's where most of my knowledge comes from, so I'm a little bit rusty. I was actually gonna do a Christmas facts video, but then I got a little short on time and it didn't happen, so maybe next year. $10 Word asked, what is the weirdest thing I've ever given or received on Christmas? I'm trying to think if I've ever received anything weird. I don't think so. I don't think I've ever gotten anything like, why did you give me this? I honestly can't think of anything. If I can think of anything, I will leave it down below, but right now, like on the spot, nothing is coming to mind. Caroline Reeds asked what my all-time favorite Christmas movie is. Hands down, that is going to be The Bishop's Wife, starring Cary Grant, David Niven, and Loretta Young. I absolutely adore this movie. It is like, the spirit of Christmas is imbued in this film. It's amazingly acted. It is a beautiful, beautiful movie, and something I think everybody should check out at least once. Time and Chance asked if I'd ever go to the Holy Land for Christmas or the Vatican. I think it would be amazing to go to midnight mass at the Vatican on Christmas Eve, or I guess Christmas Day at that point, because it's midnight. I think that would just be absolutely amazing. I am in fact Catholic. I have watched it on TV because it will air on TV while they're doing the mass, or it will air later, because I think it's like obviously pre-recorded because they're ahead of us in time. And I've watched it and it looks like it's beautiful and gorgeous, and I think that would just be an amazing thing to be a part of one day. Angela asked how many white Christmases I have had. I think we've had 3 or 4. There might be some that I don't remember because I was too young. We actually had our most recent one in 2008. We got hit by a massive snowstorm here in the Oregon Valley, and we ended up with like almost 2 feet of snow around Christmas time, and it was gorgeous. It started like a week and a half before. We ended up with like a foot of snow, and then we got a layer of ice, and then we got more snow. So by the time Christmas rolled around, the snow was still there, and it was still cold, and it was so beautiful with all of the Christmas lights. And I remember my sister and I took a walk at night when it was snowing really hard, and it was so beautiful because it was so quiet and it was so bright with everybody's Christmas lights. It was absolutely gorgeous. That was probably the best white Christmas we've ever had. We've had a few where it will kind of snow on Christmas Day, and then it won't really stick around, but it will be snowing. But sticking snow, probably only 3 or 4. Britta asked if I have a favorite Christmas read, or if I have books I always recommend as Christmas reads. I actually have a Christmas book recommendation video, which should be up by now, so I'll link that down below. But definitely A Christmas Carol is one of my go-to Christmas reads. You read it every year growing up, and definitely also The Night Before Christmas. But those are probably my 2 favorite Christmas reads. Picture Book Review asked if I could have one character around for the holidays, who would it be and why? I would choose the Fool from Robin Hobb's books because I think the Fool would enjoy a nice family time and feast. I think he's a character that hasn't had a lot of love in his life and a lot of peace in his life, and I think he would enjoy spending Christmas, and I think he'd be a wonderful person to be around as well. Monta asked what my most magical Christmas moment is. I don't know. There's just so many. I think for me, whenever I think about Christmas, I honestly just think about Christmas when I was a kid because it really, really felt so magical. We had lights everywhere. I remember just waking up on Christmas morning, and I wouldn't wake anybody up yet, but I would just walk throughout the house. We would turn all of our Christmas lights on inside and out on Christmas Eve morning. We would leave them on until the end of Christmas Day. And so I remember just waking up and walking through the house and looking at all the Christmas lights, and I know Santa had come, and I remember just walking in the living room and just sitting there, and it just felt so magical. Everything just felt at peace. It felt beautiful and glowing, and I just remember feeling such peace and happiness, and it used to just make me feel just, I don't know, warm and fuzzy inside, I guess is the best way to describe it. That is definitely, there was one specific Christmas where I was probably about 11 where I did this, where I just walked throughout the house and just like took it all in, and I think that's really what always sticks in my mind about Christmas, was that day when I just kind of like, before I woke anybody up, because I was the child that woke everybody up extraordinarily early, but I just remember taking it all in and enjoying the moment, and it just felt really, really nice, and like everything was okay in the world. And so I think that's really the embodiment for Christmas for me, is that memory. It's just perfect, I guess. All right, guys, that is it for my Christmas Q&A. I hope you guys liked learning a little bit more about my Christmases and what I enjoy about them. But thank you guys so much for sending me your questions and for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys have a wonderful day and happy holidays. Until next time, guys, bye!